Okay, so today we're in section 2.5, solving equations using addition and subtraction. The important thing that we need to remember here is that we're solving for the variable. So we look at the side of the equation that the variable is on. I have x plus 9 equals negative 3. So what operation is connected to my variable here? What operation? Addition. So my rule says that in order to get my variable by itself, I must do the opposite operation or the inverse operation to get the variable by itself. It's a terrible equal sign. Equals, and now I have x by itself. But whatever I do to one side of the equation, I must do the same thing to the other side of the equation. Now here's where your rules for positive and negative numbers are important. What is negative 3 minus 9?
Negative 12.
Negative 12. X equals negative 12. So that is my answer, but I'm not done yet because now I have to check my solution. I've got to plug it back in. What is negative 12 plus 9? Does that equal negative 3? Yes. So I show negative 3 equals negative 3, and I check it out. All right, so this is what we call checking the solution. Your homework is going to ask you to do that. It's plug in your solution into the equation, and it's like what you did on your homework last night or over the weekend. Okay, it's checking solutions. And now you're checking your own solution, so hopefully it's right every time. But make sure you just work it out to double check. So look at B now. I have A plus 7 equals 12. What do I need to do? Someone raise your hand. What do I need to do to get A by itself? What do I do, L'Ariel? I subtract 7 from both sides. So A equals 5. But I'm not done yet because now I need to test my solution. And I do 5 plus 7 equals 12. But guys, don't say yes here. I want you to show me that it's simplified on both sides. 12 equals 12. All right, I want you to try C on your own. All right, so I subtract what from both sides? 5. Very good, because 5 is connected to my variable. And I get this cancels. I get y equals, what's negative 13 minus 5? Negative 18. Y equals negative 18. All right, and now I plug it back in. Negative 18 plus 5 equals negative 13. And negative 13 equals negative 13. And it checks out. And I box in my checked answer. So technically two answers on your homework tonight. 2 points for the answer, 2 points to check your answer. All right, now in example 2, instead of addition, now what operation is connected to my variables?
Subtraction.
Subtraction. Well, they're all backwards. Does that matter?
No.
Okay. Whatever side my variable is on, that's the side that I solve for. So whatever's connected to my variable, that's what I move, even if it seems to be backwards. So on letter A, what do I need to do to both sides? I need to add by what? Whoa. Add by 11. Because that is what is connected to my variable. Add by 11. So now 34 equals y. Do you think it would be okay if I said y equals 34? Yeah, that would be fine too. So either way. So that's my answer, but now I have to go back and check. So 23 equals 34 minus 11. Well, what's 34 minus 11? 23. So it checks out. All right, I want you to go ahead and try B and C. Solve and check. Okay, make sure you're showing what you're adding on both sides. Okay, so you guys did very well in this. So I need to add 15 to both sides. And x equals what? 57. Again, you can say 57 equals x and that'll be fine. All right, what do I do to both sides on C? Add 16. All right, now we don't have time to check, but just remember that when you're checking, you need to substitute. And guys, on your homework, show me that both sides equal each other. We learned this last section when we were testing solutions. Okay, now in example 3, I need to write and solve an equation. So now I need to come up with my own equation. Here's what the word problem tells me. It tells me that I weigh horses using a method of knowing how much my trailer weighs first and then weighing the trailer after the horse gets on the trailer. So here's what it tells me. The total weight of the trailer when the horse is on it is 3,375 pounds. So your total, guys, goes on one side of the equation by itself. Then it tells us that the trailer by itself weighs 2,150 pounds, and it wants us to know or figure out what the horse weighs. Now, do you have to use the variable W, do you think? No. If the problem does not tell you what variable to use, then you can use whatever variable you want. H for horse, W for weight, I don't care, as long as there's a variable there. So on your homework tonight, on these problems, you need a variable, an operation, which would be addition here, and then your total. So I have an equation, and now how do I solve for W? How do I solve? Subtract what? 2,150 from both sides. You see, now it's a much larger number. Now it is much more difficult to do this mental math, but it is still the same process. And W equals 1,225 what? Pounds. Don't forget to label word problems. All right, that's a big old horse. All right, so writing and solving an equation. Now in example 4, we are doing the exact same thing, except now it's with decimals. Now here's where your calculator can really come in handy. You're just going to use your calculator to add and subtract, and make sure you use your rules for positive and negative numbers. You should be fine. So on letter A, what do we need to do to both sides? Subtract what? 4 and 7/10. Subtract 4 and 7/10 from both sides. And x equals, be careful, use your calculators if you need to, what is 3.5 minus 4 and 7/10? Change it to a decimal. Negative 1.2. Negative 1.2. All right. Now you're going to check it. Remember to check your solutions. You plug in. I'll do the first one with you. All right. Remember, you plug it back into the original. So you have negative 1 and 2/10 plus 4 and 7/10 equals 3.5. Different signs, subtract and take. And so yes, 3.5 does equal 3.5, and it checks out. All right, I want you to do B and C. All right, so on B, I need to add 6 and 91/100ths to both sides. And what do I get? Y equals 4 and what? 65/100ths. On C, I subtract 3 and 2/10. And B equals negative 10 and 45/100ths. Did anybody get both of those right? Both of them right? Maybe you just didn't have time to finish. Okay, so decimals I treat the exact same way. Now, before we're running out of time, we can always go back if you didn't finish writing them down. But this will help you on your homework tonight. What if I had a problem like this? 3 plus C plus 6 equals negative 9. And negative 5 equals negative 17 plus Y plus 8. What do you see that's different about these? What do you see that's different, Emily? Is there something that I can simplify? What can I simplify? My numbers. 3 plus 6 is what? is 9. So show this step, guys. 9 plus C equals negative 9. Now show how you're subtracting to solve for C, and C equals negative 18. What would you do on number 2? What would you do first? Just tell me. What would you do?
17 plus 8.
Very good. So now I have negative 5 equals negative 9 plus y. Now I add 9 to both sides. I have to do opposite. And I get 4 equals y, or y equals 4. And then just make sure you check your solutions on your homework. Okay, so now let's say I'm trying to find the perimeter. What kind of shape is this? Triangle. So here's my dimensions. Shh, guys. Here's my dimensions of the triangle. It is, oh, sorry, got to connect it down here. All right, 22 centimeters, 13 centimeters, and I don't know. And now my perimeter is 59 centimeters. I want you to try to set up an equation to solve this. Remember, the equation must include a variable. Okay, so I'm going to write 22 plus 13 plus x equals 59. All right, and then it's going to be 35 plus x equals 59. What do I need to do to both sides? Subtract what? 35 from both sides. And x equals 24 centimeters. All right, now you have one that involves a rectangle. So what would be your formula for rectangle? P equals, no, for rectangle. 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. This one I should have written my original formula, I forgot. A plus B plus C. Please don't forget to do that on your homework tonight. I want to see that original formula, substitutions, and then I want to see your work. All right, that should be everything that you need to know for 2.5.